hole in my drywall.
509-1667. 800-509-1667.
I could kill the kids.
So you think it was just?
I know exactly what it was.
Wow.
Well, they weren't shutting the curtain all the way, so some of the water would go out.
Yeah, but you gotta have a hell of a bad seal around.
It's probably been doing it for 6-7 months.
I hate showers.
And it finally just, finally enough to where we saw it.
Wednesday,
But it should have been
So,
sealed.
I know, it wasn't. You could literally see where the hole was. You could literally see. I was like, son of a...
endless pan pizzas, down for a limited time. Load up on crust and toppings, not on price. Starting at just $5.99 on the unlimited buffet. Only at CC's. Prices
Maybe
and
you should tell your
participation
insurance
vary,
company
taxes
it was
and
a
rates
raccoon.
excluded. Restrictions apply.
If you're thinking about solar power, think Cam Solar. You can get a free evaluation of your lot to see what it will generate over the next 20 years. Just going to a website and filling out a form. Not only that, they will guarantee that analysis along with a 20-year parts and labor guarantee if you decide to go with their system. They have 3,000 systems going right now. GoCamSolar.com is the website. GoCamSolar.com/troubleshooter. GoCamSolar.com/troubleshooter.
What do you make of this Saudi thing, guys?
Well,
I think they did it. I think he sent in a death squad. Well, yeah, but how come no one's heard it? I always wondered that. You realize where the recording came from, don't
they
you?
bugged him.
So before he goes in, before he goes in, to the embassy, he gives his girlfriend his iPhone, okay? His iWatch is still connected to the iPhone, and they're recording everything on the iWatch. So they didn't realize it was an iWatch, so they're saying the recording's on that phone. But how come it hasn't been played everywhere in the world?
Yes.
That's what's weird.
Especially if they knew it happened.
Did you hear Hillary saying she doesn't think that Bill took advantage of Monica Lewinsky?
You remember how old Monica was?
20, right?
20. And he's the president.
And it wasn't an abuse of power?
I don't think there is a better example of abuse of power.
How do you get in your hire?
An intern.
In the same breath, she criticizes everyone else.
I can't believe you like her.
I don't.
I thought you'd win.
You kept telling me how she was going to win.
I did.
Everybody thought she was.
I did not think she was
So
going to win.
CBS asked that question, but they didn't ask about him being accused of rape and paying off those women and sexual assault prior to his being a president.
And she put down all the women that came after him. She put down. And she made fun of.
Well,
Right,
that-
exactly.
she wrote a scathing letter to one of her friends about Lewinsky. And then when that lady died, that letter actually came out a couple years ago. And it was, she basically blamed Lewinsky on everything. So, that poor woman, I mean, really, 20 years old, he's the president. If that's not a power move, I don't know what is.
And a cigar.
Which is, that's just bizarre.
That's that joke.
That's purely a power move. I mean,
It's
really.
like that, but it's close but no cigar. It says, how's that differ? How's the Monica thing differ from that? And Hillary said, close but no cigar.
Oh, that's fun. I don't even know that.
I told you guys that.
Hey, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. This hour brought to you by Icon Eye Care. Welcome. Shirley wants to talk about alternatives to surgery for scoliosis. We have a lot of people that can talk about that. We also have Mary, who's a grandma, wants to thank us. We got to talk to her for sure. And then Darius, he contacted us about discrimination in a jail. By the way, this is not the only time we've heard of discrimination at a jail. And, you know, no one likes being in jail. So, you know, it does spur a lot of complaints from inmates. But we don't want to diminish it. We want to examine it. I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. And today we have people in from the referral list. We have Todd Whalen, Advanced Tax Solutions. And we also have John and Brian from APO Financial. Now, they're financial advisors. And during a time of uncertainty, that's when you really need them, right? I mean, uncertainty is when you have a president who obviously has made a hit as far as the stock market goes. Love him or hate him, it doesn't matter politically. He has had a positive impact on the stock market. No one can deny that.
I'd say the economy in general, not just the
And
stock
if,
market.
And if that changes with midterms or that changes in 2 years, that could be a major blow. We could end up having you know, some kind of a big recession just because of psychological impact. 303-713-TALK, Icon Eye Care. Now, you know I've had the clear lens exchange. I did not have cataracts, but they do treat cataracts with new lenses, and they have lenses that focus, so why not get those, right? It's a little more expensive than the regular lenses. In fact, I got them, and I didn't have cataracts at all. I just didn't want to go through another LASIK. LASIK's fine. LASIK works. It's not permanent, but it works, and it's cheap. They do it so well, so inexpensively. I chose the clear lens exchange. You can choose whatever you want. So many people opt for LASIK. And then, of course, any eye diseases or conditions. IconEyeCare.com. 866-GOT-ICON. 866-GOT-ICON. IconEyeCare.com. If you opt for clear lens exchange, by the way, you'll never get cataracts. You'll never need glasses. They'll never grow old. It's just an amazing phenomenon. IconEyeCare.com. Okay, so I want to go back to Darius in a minute, but first I'd like to talk to Mary, the grandmother, who called us about her grandkids. Mary is one of many grandparents we hear from through the years. We've heard from many. In this case, her daughter is in prison, and she's taking care of her grandkids, her 2 girls, I believe, 2 girls. And Mary, what's going on?
I just called to thank you so much. I really appreciate what you did for the food and the clothes and everything. I just wanted to tell you I really appreciate it, and it means so much. But with being a grandmother at 83 years old taking care of teenagers, that means so much. God, Lee, it's a problem.
Well, thank you, Mary. You know, as soon as Suzanne heard this, she said, doggone it, Mark, let's go out there. Let's take care of that. And then some other fine listeners did that too. Mary, thank you for letting us know. Suzanne, some people came through for them, didn't they?
Yeah, we have great listeners. They're generous.
And then
Tom.
you guys helped out with what, at Walmart?
Walmart, yep. We did
Good.
a Walmart card, a Visa card. Got her hooked up.
Mary, thank you for being such a good grandma. You'll be a difference in those girls' lives. Goodness gracious. God bless grandparents. So Darius, he was in Jeffco. How long ago were you there, Darius?
I was there last October.
So a year ago. A year ago. And then when did you get out?
I got out January of this year.
Okay, so you were there for 4 months?
Roughly 3, correct.
Okay. What was the charge?
It was possession of a firearm.
Okay, so anyway, you're in jail doing your time, and you said you were discriminated against.
Right.
Just so you know, and you should really check with attorneys. Joe Lazare is a defense attorney. We could probably check with him. He's often so busy he can't get on the phone. But here's what he said in the past about this, because Joe has handled stuff like this for his clients.
Right.
And what he says basically in general, I'm paraphrasing, is that discrimination is something that they would not do to someone else. And
right.
And really, if you think about that, if you were the least bit threatened, or they felt you were, or in their discretion they thought you should be protected because you're Muslim, whatever the reason, because of the color of your hair, the discrimination to protect someone in that is not discrimination, it's protection. It's different. Now, if they said because you're Muslim, you don't get to eat, or you don't get to, I don't know, you don't get any yard time or certain things because you're Muslim. But I don't understand the discrimination part. Is there something they did to you that they would not do to anyone else?
Okay, so essentially, what happened in terms of discrimination is they changed my custody level due to my religion. So they placed me in solitary confinement. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. Like, the case is pretty lengthy. But what I ended up doing was I filed a civil case. I filed a 1983 suit against Jefferson County.
You know what I always find I find a good indicator of a good case is if an attorney will take it on contingency.
Right. Well, the issue that I'm having is that the judge refuses to rule on it. So, if it was a frivolous case, or if it was a case that had no merit, then I would expect the judge, Jordan P. Gallagher, to rule and say this is a frivolous case.
How long has he had the case?
6 months.
Yeah.
And it's just pending. It's not he.
What are you asking for?
Well, I wanted a motion for status. I wanted to move forward in the case.
Right.
I want him to dismiss the case or either pass it to the next judge.
But what are you asking in this case? What are you asking for?
1 point. I have 6.
Hello? Are you there? How do you get disconnected?
Got to wonder if the ACLU would be interested.
That's who he should call. I mean, if I don't hear discrimination.
I think he was going to say he was asking for $1.2 million or something. That's what I thought he was saying.
Look, people can ask for anything they want. I don't have him here, so let's go on. Shirley, welcome. What's going on, Shirley?
Hi, Tom.
Hi.
I first want to say thank you for all that you do for people. And today I'm calling, not for myself, but for a 19-year-old young lady. She's got scoliosis, and I'm just wondering if you know of physicians or practitioners that offer alternative treatments to surgery.
Yes, of course. We just talked about Centeno Schultz and stem cells. Now, listen, they don't, they can't cure scoliosis, but they can strengthen and stop further progression in some cases. Scoliosis is something a lot of people get treatment for around the world, not just here. And then chiropractic has been known to relieve symptoms and stop progression. As far as actually, if it's severe, surgery, of course, has been the main alternative because you're talking about structure, and a lot of things might stop progression and may very well stop it very early. But once it's progressed, it's almost impossible to reverse without doing some intervention, which requires, oh my God, it's terrible surgery. And then they have to do a lot of artificial stuff, meaning pins and discs.
If they catch it early enough when someone's a kid and they put them in those braces, does that generally repair them or help it grow straight or what?
Yes.
Okay.
If you catch early enough, scoliosis can be dealt with. I have a mild form of scoliosis that through chiropractic, through the years, I've been able, and it was really mild because it never progressed. I think, how far progressed is it? That's what really counts, Shirley.
I don't know what the degree is.
Well, how old is she? How old is she?
She's 19, and she said she said she just learned about it not too long ago.
Now hold on. Who did she learn it from? A chiropractor?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, you know what I would do with that diagnosis? I would throw it out the window because chiropractors, I'm not saying it's not accurate. I'm saying don't rely on it. You need to find an orthopedic surgeon or doctor, and you need to go to one of these orthopedic medicine, sports medicine or orthopedic clinics. These practices, we have great ones in Denver. And the names escape me, but they're big practices. You go and get a workup, have her get a workup. Chiropractors do limited diagnostics with their facilities. That doesn't mean they don't do good diagnostics, but they're limited. And then a good chiropractor will refer you somewhere for further tests if they feel it's very serious. So if a chiropractor just happens to say, oh, by the way, you have scoliosis, and I would not call that an indicator at all. Just minor curvatures, and they're going to tell you could have heart failure or kidney failure. I mean, a lot of chiropractors are fear mongers. I hate to say it.
Well, it was discovered by a chiropractor, so then she went to her doctor and had x-rays taken.
Good.
And I saw an x-ray, and it was pretty bad.
Okay. So the doctor, she's been to an orthopedic doctor.
Yes, I believe it was Children's Hospital, but when she turned 19, they couldn't see her anymore.
Okay, but she was... I want to ask this again. An orthopedic doctor, not a general practitioner.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And did they recommend any treatment?
They recommended she have surgery and have rods.
Okay, then okay.
Looking for alternatives.
All right, then this is a lot different. This is a true case. Then it's not just a chiropractor. Right. And exactly. in this case, the chiropractor did her a service by recommending it. So here's the deal. What you need to do is go. I would stop at Centeno Schultz and ask about stem cell therapy for stopping the further progression. If she's not in pain or discomfort now, I would try, this is what I would do. I would try stem cell therapy, and then I would also try, whether I do stem cell or not, I would do continuing chiropractic treatment, because it's a wonderful thing for maintenance. As I said, reversing it, Shirley, if you're looking for people who are going to tell you it's going to be reversed, they'd be lying to you. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Guys, APO Financial, you mentioned cash. Going to cash. Somebody says, I'm not a sophisticated investor. What does that mean? I have cash in the bank. What does it mean to go to cash at times of uncertainty? Just very quickly, we'll answer the rest of it when we come back. What is that? What does it mean?
It just means getting out of the market, moving to cash money market account.
Okay, so not in an active trading market.
Correct.
But when you go to cash, aren't you holding, or doesn't that interest rate depend on anything in the market or not?
No, it does not.
Okay, well then we'll explain that coming back. Going to cash. 303-713-TALK. We do have lines open. Now John is on to talk about a mechanical shop and somebody owes him 20 grand. We'll talk about that and more. 303-713-TALK. You can get right through. John Fuller, Fuller Law, is a personal injury attorney you should call if you ever have a question about injuries. I know if you watch TV, you're going to see every Tom, Dick, and Harry saying, call us. We're a big, giant firm. We're a factory, and that's exactly how you'll be treated, like a cog in a factory. If you call John Fuller, you're a person on the other end of the phone. He'll answer all of your questions. He's not going to hound you to sign up. And he's going to answer them fully and honestly and tell you what he believes about your case. If you do hire him, he will give you personalized, individual attention. You'll always have his direct line. And if, by the way, if he only gets paid if he collects for you. That's John Fuller, Fuller Law, personalinjuryco.com, 303-597-4500.
So let's say Saudi Arabia.
This report.
And they have audio, and it goes all the way up to the tape.
Oh man, what should we do about that?
What do? Do you not sell them weapons so China does? I would say that's the stupidest thing you could ever do. You know, for all I know, when we sell these guys an F-35 or whatever they are now, you know, we might have some kind of hidden thing in there where we can like blow them up or something. I don't know.
I wish they would do that, but I doubt it.
But think about it. I mean, what do you do?
I agree.
Do you get into a war with them to where they start jacking up the production of oil to the point where oil goes down to $30, or the opposite? They don't ship anyway. I mean, God,
they'd be helping all the countries.
It's one of those things like, how do you punish something like that? Because I think that's what it's going to come down to. You know, Trump today was kind of saying it was a rogue ban. Well, who the hell does that? It was in their embassy.
Politically, he's screwed because of the Russia thing. He doesn't want to denounce Putin, won't denounce him. The Saudi king. So.
Yeah, I know. It's just like, you gotta, I don't know. Yeah. I mean, Russia drops people left and right all the time. I mean, they poison people. If you don't like Putin, there's a good chance, if, you know, you've got a real voice out there.
Did you see his interview on 60 Minutes? I thought he did a good job. Did you see it?
I did not watch it. I heard a couple.
She was so.
That's the second one,
so
right?
openly biased. My God, she starts her questions with drawn conclusions, and so it's impossible to answer without agreeing with her conclusions.
Who did the interview? Leslie's all.
That's 303-734-1234.
Well, he knew that going on.
Weren't they that hard on Obama when they interviewed him?
You know, he doesn't make his own life that easy. I mean, honestly.
No, he doesn't.
So, what do you, I don't know. But it's so weird when it comes to like this guy, he's a reporter.
He's pretty damn quick on his feet.
Oh, he's
getting definitely better too.
Oh man, I mean,
he's not doing it. You know what he has? He's really kind of slowed down.
Well, not on his tweets, but
no, I think he has actually. I think he has.
He has his days.
I'll tell you, who did a good job is Melania Trump. If you saw that long
I
extended,
can't believe the way they get on her.
She won. Do you realize she got $2 million from that one rag, that one newspaper?
She really won all that.
She got $2 million. Yeah, they said that she was a call girl. That's Trump met her, and the reason they met is she was a hooker, basically. And she sued him for slander, and she won $2 million.
How do you say you're damaging that?
Well, you see, as a public figure, which she is, you have to show actual damages. If you're not a public figure, you can take emotional and non-economic loss. I had a big problem because a guy was suing me for slander, and he claimed millions of dollars of loss. First of all, he had this disc jockey circuit, Sean Too Good. It went to trial, and I won. But first of all, I proved he was a public figure. He said he's not. So he was an individual suffering all these losses. Yet, on his website, he's talking about, and part of the thing he was suing me for was loss of business because he was such a public figure. So he couldn't have it both ways. But I didn't win because of that. I won because he couldn't prove his case that I slandered him. Everything I said was the truth. The motherfucker, listen to this, the motherfucker didn't show up to a sock hop for Girl Scouts because of a snowstorm. And he said,
wouldn't give any money back.
He said it's an act of God, and I said, but it was a decision of you not show up. All the parents showed up, the kids showed up, and I said under the terms of his contract, anything can be called an act of God. If he had a headache, it's an act of God. What is not an act of God? You know, so the guy he just didn't show up. Oh no, but the egregious part was he was keeping the money. How do you keep? I mean, even if he didn't show up and gave the money back, but he was trying to keep the money. $2,000, this asshole. He hired an attorney and everything.
We'll take a deep dive into the
See if Sean Too Good is still alive. I mean, still alive. No, I mean, not alive. He's still doing
Now Sean very good.
Sean not so good.
Not so good.
What's his name?
Sean Too Good.
I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. What can I say about Integra Insurance? Oh my God. I have never seen people work harder in my life than Integra. Mark, for the money they make, I mean, what does it come out to be? Maybe 2%?
Pennies.
Pennies. And they help people with Medicaid. They don't get paid anything. They'll help you with Medicare. And if you don't buy a supplement from them, all the help is free. Now, why do they do it? Because they're good people. They do volume. And they're an agency. And they're one of the few approved agencies for open enrollment. That means you go to them, they'll help you pick. And now when you don't have the penalties for next year, you have a slew of choices. You got to make the right one. It doesn't cost you a penny more using an agent, a broker, not a penny more. Why would you ever go through the brain damage on your own? Integra Insurance. Would you ever do it alone? Why would you do it alone? I can't even imagine it. Mark and Suzanne and me and my family and Deputy, we all use them. And that is, let me give you, it's 303-466-5500. Integra, I-N-T-E-G-R-A, IntegraInsurance.com, 303-466-5500. The best deal in the world. Even better than these financial advisors. Now, you guys charge what, a percentage of money? And believe it or not, financial advisors are not rolling in the dough for what they charge. You charge a percent or something of assets managed. And you know, people think, oh my God, but the hours that you put in, you're hoping that the bigger clients make up for the little ones, right? I mean, isn't that what you do? You aggregate all your expenses over your vast...
Absolutely, yeah. It's, you know, because you take a, you know, based on managing the assets, we take a percentage of what's being managed.
Yeah, so if you have a woman who's a widow and she was left some money and she has, you know, a few $100,000, I mean, no, and I don't mean to put anybody down. You can't make money on that account.
Not really, no.
No, for the hours that you put in. So in general, what does this woman wants to know, what does going to cash mean? She said, is a bank account considered going to cash?
Sure. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it
so
could be checking, saving, money market.
When they're invested with you, you have a brokered account. You have a, whatever they call it. What is it called?
Yeah, it's a custodial account.
Okay, and all the money stays there in their name, and then you guys have what power? Fiduciary?
Yeah,
we're fiduciaries.
Which means?
Which means we have to have the client's best interest in it foremost at all times.
And you're allowed to do the trading, right?
Right.
Yeah,
and the investing.
Correct.
So when you go to cash, is there an account called cash where it earns money?
It's usually a money market. It could be a short-term
and how
treasury
do money
account.
Markets, how do they make money?
From a money market account,
Yeah.
it's just a fixed interest rate.
So banks pay that, or institutions pay that to keep that money,
right,
and to reuse it.
Right.
Okay. And what usually is the cash being paid right about now?
Oh, it'll range in the 2 to 2.5%, 3% range right now.
And does it get higher or lower based on the economy?
Well, it gets high. It'll get higher based on the bond rates.
Okay.
Yeah, because during the recession, yeah, they were paying near zero as far as interest rates.
Okay, so it wasn't very good, but it's safe.
It's safe.
Okay. 303-713-TALK. If you guys have any questions, call us. Let's talk to John. John says he works at a shop, and there's a customer who owes how much?
Well, being exact, well, the bill was originally $19,803.
Wow. How does that bill, what kind of customer are we talking about? A regular car, or what kind of shop?
It's a we work on semis.
Oh, okay, gotcha. So 19 grand.
Yeah. And, you know, like other customers, they come in, they tell us what they want, and we fix it, and they'll come and pay the bill, or pay it and pick it up.
Yeah.
Been in business for 50 years for the family. You know, the business has been in business for 50 years.
Wow.
And so, anyway, the gentleman brings the truck in. We work on it, do everything he wants. We call him, tell him the truck's done. He sends 2 guys over to pick the truck up, and we said, no, you got to pay for it.
Of course.
So then anyway, he leaves. I contact him. I do the accounts receivable. I call him. Nothing, won't respond.
How much is the truck worth in its current condition with the $19,000 worth of repairs?
30 to 40.
So it was not worth much before that.
No, but a lot of guys are putting money into older trucks now because all the new trucks with the computers and stuff like that, they're putting a lot of money into older trucks
because they don't like the new stuff.
No, and the new stuff breaks down the computer system.
So you guys can do a mechanics lien and hopefully get your money out?
Well, we tried that. I did that. Found out. Matter of fact, I called the police department over and make sure this guy, the license plate.
How long ago is this? When was this mark due?
Yeah, we're going on 7 months now.
Okay, so you had to file that lien within a certain time.
We tried.
What do you mean you tried?
But guess what? The bank has 2 liens against it.
Oh, so you don't really have...
He could still put a third, though.
Yeah, of course. How much are the liens?
Well, they wouldn't discuss that. I went to the courthouse, and no, there's not another place to put another lien on the title. We tried that, and they said...
Well, no. You can always put another lien on it. There doesn't have to be room. I mean, literally, when you run out of room, you don't run out of liens.
Well, they told us I couldn't do that, and I went to the courthouse.
Oh,
so
come
anyway,
on. Well, first of all, what, a clerk tell you that?
Yeah, the clerk there, it said there's already 2 liens against
Okay, fine. So there's no room. Get an extra sheet. I mean, that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard of in my life. But you shouldn't be taking... We're
dealing with Akron, Colorado.
But
so
you shouldn't be taking legal advice from a clerk in Akron, Colorado.
Well, so this guy's mother hired an attorney. So I've been dealing with his attorney. His attorney's been saying, "Oh, he's going to come in and start making payments on it. He's going to bring us $10,000."
Look, you better put a mechanics lien. You don't have a right to hold that. Do you understand that?
Well,
you don't have a lien, man. You did the wrong thing. I don't care what anyone told you. You need to hire an attorney and get a lien on it. It might be too late now. Mark, is it too late?
I think it's too late for that, but I disagree a little bit when it comes to this. I don't know necessarily if he hasn't paid and he did work on it. I think he can hold it. I think he's fine holding that.
Wait, why?
Because he did work on it. I think he's fine keeping that vehicle till he's paid.
Legally we can hold it.
Who told you could hold it legally? I'm not disputing it.
Another attorney. He said, yeah, because we don't want to put money out to an attorney.
Did you explain to the attorney that you did not have a lien on it?
Yeah, we told him that we went to do that. And like you sit there and said, no, there's got to be a place on the
And did
title.
he say, hold on, did he say you still can hold it even though you don't have a lien?
Yeah, see what we can't do, say that
you can't sell it.
Out, what we can't do, if we would have released it, okay, and then try to put a mechanic's lien against it, then we could have, then we'd have had to do legal deal. But we've held this truck and not let it out of the shop.
I understand.
And so, anyway, so once he hired the attorney, and the attorney said that, we let it go, and he said he's making all these promises. Well, then I contacted so I did a little investigation or whatever. I went to different banks to find out where we stand on it. Well, the bank is one that really owns the truck, and they're the ones that got the lien against the truck, and they're liable for the bill on it, and they have to go after their client.
Well, if the bank wants it, they don't have to. If they want to.
But what do we do with it? We can't sell it. We ain't got a title.
You should have got a lien.
Well, even with the lien, what do we do?
Well, with the lien, you would ultimately sell it. That's what you would do with the lien, and the bank would have the option of paying that off.
Well, with the lien, the bank has got 2 liens on it.
It's just like a foreclosure.
First of all, what is your question? What is your question at this time? Because it sounds like you did a bunch of homework, and I don't want to just spin our wheels. What is your question?
Okay, you're sitting there saying the lien. My question is, what do we do now?
Well,
if I went to the courthouse and they sat there and told me, and another attorney sat there and said, no, they've already got liens against
John,
you can't put in,
John,
do it.
Was that attorney working for you at the time?
No, not working for me. He's working.
Who was the attorney? Who was the attorney that said, oh, they have liens on there already, you can't put another one? Who is it?
Monk.
Who was he working for?
For the guy that owes us the money.
Then John,
and the bank attorneys said I couldn't put another lien
against
it.
I can't help the idea that you fell for a wrong story. I can't help you. So, you know what? That's not an excuse. You didn't put a lien on it. I don't know what the time limit is for a lien on a car. Okay? We know what it is on a property. I don't know what it is. But we can figure it out in a minute. Call one of our mechanics, Suzanne. Let's call Pro Auto Care. Ask Alaramas. How long do they have to put on a lien? Let's ask. Or Budget A1. Either one of those, ask and let me know. But if let's just say you're out of time for a lien. You're asking what you can do. Nothing.
Right.
You can't sell it. I guess you can hold it. I don't even know if you can hold it. But Mark's telling me you can, and he was in the business. But if you hold it, you can't sell it. What can you do? What does, the opposing attorney saying? What does he want? What does he want?
He wants this guy, I guess this guy, the bank attorney sent me a letter saying that we have to hold it, we can't take the parts off it, and they're not liable for it. And
well, listen, you know what?
But the other attorney, technically, he is saying that his client has lied to him and he's no longer representing.
Oh, okay. Well, listen, John, you are taking advice from too many people, and none of them work for you. And none of them work for you. So I can only say, if I were you, I would either let the truck go or I would hire an attorney to do it right. That's all I can tell you, man. Okay? You're screwed. That's what you are. And the bank is is only liable if they want the truck. If they foreclose on that truck, though, I don't think they have to pay you. I think they can come and repossess it from you. And I don't see because you don't have a lien. I keep going back to that because the clerk in Akron said you didn't need one. Or you couldn't put one on. There were too many. I don't have room to write on this sheet of paper. You got too many liens on there. Okay, we can't charge you with that extra crime. I ran out of paper. You can't get charged. You know, this is the most asinine thing I have ever heard in my life. 303-713-8255. Buyandbuild.net, the place to go for wholesale building supplies. No, below wholesale, whether you're a contractor going for yourself to resell, or you're going because your homeowner told you to go, or you're a homeowner doing do-it-yourself stuff, you will not beat these prices. If they have the stuff in stock, you're going to find it cheaper. And I'm talking about cabinets, whether it's a builder grade or your dream home with shaker cabinets, beautiful countertop material. They have granite, they have Formica, they have all kinds of stuff. They also have cabinets and plumbing fixtures and lighting fixtures, pennies on the dollar compared to stores. Buyandbuild.net, 4800 Washington Street. You won't do better.
This is Denver's Talk Station, 630 KHOW, an iHeart radio station. With Ross Kaminsky mornings, Michael Brown after.
Maybe there isn't a limit. I really meant it about budget or
Mitch with $300 in his pocket. He starts working in granite and then decides that's his own place.
I wouldn't release that car.
You know what? That's weird. You can't do that shit. I would do it.
Beautiful countertops and supplies cabinets direct from the manufacturer. They are a of granite, quartz, and
I'd go, if I got a bad check, I'd go hook it.
with artistic edges.
I'd go hook the car, man. I'd send JJ out. I'd have that car back.
Marble, they do
This is your furnishing labor or materials to
natural
construction
stone
projects.
or artificial.
Yeah, but I don't think there's a difference.
Stone. They
4 months or 2 months.
up the
I think it's a mechanics
You
thing,
pay wholesale for
which
that,
is
and
it
he only
doesn't matter if
charges
it's a
for
contractor
fabrication
or an
and
auto mechanic.
installation.
I don't
When
think
you
it matters.
get right now, he's going to
4
charge
months
you that for no charge. Call today. Art of Granite.
6 months after it's substantial work with stuff.
303-386-5919. I promise you, if you shop around, you'll pick Mitch at
Well, 19
artofgranite.net.
grand, you'd think it'd be substantial.
I recently learned that the average person spends 24
But even if he didn't put a mechanics lane, if he's owed that,
without a website,
to repossess it, I mean, he could say, hey, he's owed that, I mean, right? I mean,
He doesn't have to repossess it. He has it.
Right, that's what I'm saying, if the bank comes to repossess it, he says, well, that's his bill on it.
He doesn't have to release it to the bank.
Right, that's all we're fine.
I'm telling you, he doesn't have to release that to you, unless if someone brings him to court and the judge says, release it.
I think so. It's good. Hockey.
And I don't know what judge in his right mind would say, why wouldn't I just go to Discount Tire with all my cars, get brand new tires on it, and then just leave? I mean, it's the craziest shit I've ever heard.
Did you see it?
I thought it was lovely. I'm just glad he didn't commit suicide. Okay?
What's that?
So,
What is she talking about?
Star is Born.
Oh, God, that movie brutally sucked.
God, it's like an easily patient.
It was
got no
so boring.
appreciation for music.
You knew everything that was going to happen. There was nothing that
They're
wasn't.
going to go see it, so don't tell them.
Oh, God, bring a noose. You're better off going to the dentist and getting a root canal.
Bring a newspaper to read.
It was a romantic night, let me say.
Oh, God, it was boring.
Did you see it? I thought it was good. Yeah.
You thought it was good? I thought it was good. It wasn't like, I wasn't blown away.
Did you wear
That girl
earplugs?
can sing.
Well, all the crying in the
He must have saw a different movie.
But it's, yeah, Lady Gaga was good in it.
I thought you were going to
Did you know Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga wrote all that music? That's my understanding.
It took 18 months of voicing to be able to do
I watched all that
I
stuff to
think
the
she's
monkey.
better looking natural than all makeup stuff.
No, I don't see it. I wouldn't even, if it came out on Netflix. I would
Tom
watch
says
it.
that was his real, that's his real dog in real life.
Really?
Yeah, that's what Tom
Yeah, I know. This is the kind of movie it is. He used his real dog.
It probably did. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to go with this.
Anyway, have fun with that.
Did you know that's his real dog?
I've always
The
wanted
buzz in the theater.
I've always wanted to see his real dog.
Hey, did you know that's actually his shirt? I can't believe you like that movie.
Well, I never saw the original. So, I mean,
There's 3 other ones.
I love music, so for me,
3 other of those movies you love.
Which one?
That
This is Ross.
A Star is
Is
Born.
born.
I don't like that. I don't like it at all. But they had, this is the 3rd attempt or 4th attempt. The original one, Barbra Streisand was not
some of the lowest rates in the industry. If you're already in a mortgage, it's no problem. You can refinance any existing mortgage into a VA loan while receiving access to 100% of your home's value. That's greater than any other loan program can offer, and even though it's called a VA loan, it's available to active duty military and spouses as well, so you don't have to wait to take advantage of such incredible savings. A salary-based mortgage consultant will listen to your financial goals and customize a loan program to fit your needs. Just call 303-695-7000, 303-695-7000, or AmericanFinancing.net.
NMLS 182334, regulated by the Division of Real Estate.
Did you know there's a way to list your home to attract multiple offers and incite bidding wars? Hi, I'm Tom Martino. Do you know what it is? Don't feel bad. Neither do most real estate brokers. But Frank Duran, the real estate man, uses this system in all of his listings.
There's simply no substitute for drive, discipline, passion, and experience. And we give you that.
Frank Duran, part of RE/MAX Alliance. No one better. 303-920-1622. 920-1622.
630 KHOW, an iHeart radio station.
We're trying to get some experts on for that lien. I'm Tom Martino. We'll talk to them in a second. 303-713-TALK. Plumbline Services, plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, and drains. And as you imagine, with snow and cold, all of these places are crazy busy. So yes, it will be difficult to get normal, routine maintenance. But one thing they can do as a public service, truly, if you have a written proposal for any major repair like plumbing, water heater, panel change, or anything, a drain replacement, they will do free second opinions, and I mean free second opinions. If you have a great deal, well, they'll let you know because it'll be this easy. Numbers don't lie. If they can't beat the deal, they'll tell you, and they'll tell you why. And it's a free second opinion to make sure you're not getting ripped off. And that's Plumbline Services, a company you can trust. PlumlineServices.com, 303-586-1086. 303-586-1086. JR has a question. He's 63. And, okay, you have over $500,000 in your 401k. Is that right, JR?
Yeah, here's what I got going, Tom. I've worked 2 jobs for a long time. And in one of my 401s, I have a little over $500,000.
Good.
Yeah, it's done really well for me. The other one, not so much, because it's been a part-time job.
Who managed that 401k for you?
It's through my employer.
And did you ever make any choices or just let them do it?
Well, I have half going to stock. I don't know if I should say the company name. But,
it doesn't matter. But in any case, you have over 501, and what do you have in the other?
Just 82.
Okay, so what is your question?
The question is, I heard your financial advisor.
Yeah.
I'm trying to ask. My question is, why should I use one at this point and take this out and put it into a money market at 2% or whatever? Well, and then get fees on top of it.
Well, first of all, you're not going to take anything out if they took over. Let's just say you went to APO Financial as an example. They would take over your existing account, meaning they wouldn't draw it out necessarily. They would manage it. They would direct the investments. And I don't know if they could do better, but you would hope they would. I don't know who's managing it now. I don't know who makes the decisions on what to buy and who to buy from. But the answer is this. You would not go to cash right now and make less money, but at the same time, you have to be thinking. So I'm going to let them answer. So if you took over a 401k or 2 of them, one at 500k and one at 82k. By the way, JR, do you know what your return has been averaging for the last 5 or 6 years?
Yeah, I just got my statements from American Funding and from the Costco plan that I have.
And how much?
8.7 on one and 6.2 on the smaller one.
Is that a year or for the last 5 years?
No, that's for 2018
well,
year to date.
A lot of people made a lot of money, so that's not a good indicator. I'd like to see what a 5-year or 8-year. Do you have anything that shows that?
Well, and 18's not even over yet.
Right.
Right. They send us a statement every quarter of how your funds are doing.
Have you always hovered in the 8% range or 6 to 8?
Well, last year was 12% because Costco stock just went crazy, and we gained about $30.
All right, do you have more than Costco stock or just Costco?
I have 50% of the 500 in Costco stock, and then I have 50%. It's called the 2025 fund, just like a mutual fund that's distributed, in somewhere in the stock market.
Okay, so his question is, what does management do with this scenario?
Well,
guys?
Yeah, it's what's important about it is because, JR, you are over 59.5, so you have a right to control to actually move what you have in your 401k to an IRA.
Without penalty.
Without penalty or taxation. So that way you're just rolling it from a 401k to an IRA. Now,
what would be the benefit?
Well, the benefit is ultimately if he looks to distribute, he doesn't have a mandatory 20% withholdings for the IRS for federal taxation.
Which means he can use it like a line of credit almost.
Well, it just means that if you pull money out of a 401 directly, you've got it. They have to. The administrator has to withhold the 20% tax. But if it's in an IRA, you don't have to do that.
But here's what I want to know. If he's at this age, can you be at an age where you're still contributing but still earning?
Well, sure.
Yes.
And that becomes like a bank account. You're still contributing, and you can take out.
You can
without penalty.
That's without penalty. That's correct.
Is there any disadvantage to that?
Well, you want to look at their entire life and see exactly what do they want to do, what they want to accomplish. I mean, there's a whole lot more. It's not with the way we practice. It's not just about people's money. Your financial life is tied directly into your personal life.
Of course, on how much you're going to need and what you do.
And what you want to do. Right. And the time you've got left. Because at 63, 64, 65, come on, we only have so much time left, right? At the good years. Because by the time we're late 70s, early 80s, we've all slowed down, right?
Speak for yourself.
Well,
go ahead. Keep going.
Well, most people.
No, go ahead.
And it goes to health and health care. So what we do is we look at people's. We try to increase the joy and the fulfillment they get out of the rest of the good years of their life. That's the focus.
All right. So, but with him, he's got a good question. He's got a very well-performing 401k. So, in a case like that, what reason would there be? And when he says he's not paying a management fee, I think he's mistaken. His return, you for sure are paying. You just don't notice it.
Yeah, they don't have to disclose that in a 401k.
That's right. They're not disclosing it, but it's there.
Does he get any match or anything?
Hold on. Hold on. We're running out of time, but we'll talk about that. Just, JR, I want to know what you're going to do with it and what your plan is, because they're right. That's what counts. And another thing, become the banker. That is something we talk about. Listen, this is not for everyone. It is a safe investment where people overfund life insurance, but I want to make this very clear. You know, we're not talking about investing in life insurance. We're not. We're not talking about, we're talking about buying the minimal amount to get the maximum amount of cash in it, just as a tax shelter. It is a strategy. Joe Chiano does becomethebanker.info, becomethebanker.org. I encourage you to go look at it, find out about his next seminar. There is no magic. It is a very safe, conservative investment. It's got a guaranteed return of 4%. They also pay a 1% dividend that they've been doing for years. Again, it's something to consider. Becomethebanker.info. You'll see a video we did and answer some basic questions. You can go to seminars, or you can just, basically sign up for a private webinar. Becomethebanker.info.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's.
The Mile High City Freeway system in pretty good shape right now. No major delays on the highway.
The same way. Yeah, Microsoft was not the same.
Most stocks have increased in the last couple of years, helping with his gains there.
No, in fact, it's quite a bit below its 52
The biggest issue he's got a lot of concentration with Costco. So if Costco ever struggles, then it's half of it.
I bet it's up 50% in what, 5 years?
Oh, of course, 5 years.
Well, I don't know. I don't even know if that's right.
Sure.
No, it really isn't.
Costco is kicked.
I did sell Walmart right there, man.
Proceedings on everything you need to get started on fall projects like overseeing
Nothing on Pro Auto or budget, right?
Whatever's on your list, start now and save on what you need. All projects have a starting point. Start with Lowe's. Income is
Market budget wasn't available. Scott said, I heard the question and I don't know. So he was listening.
Okay, good.
And then Al says he's just too short-handed to deal with us right now.
That's fine.
Do you want me to try Kimmer or somebody?
Or try Kevin.
Sheridan?
Kevin.
That
Kimmer?
it kind of slows the show down if it's not part of our regular.
Okay, so you just want to do it yourself?
But Al doesn't even know the answer.
I asked him the answer, and he says, I'm busy. And then I tried calling him, and I said, we could wrap it in a live. He says, I'm busy right now.
Well, call one of them to see if they know the answer. I don't have to.
Kevin might know it.
Kevin?
Yeah.
He's got a lot of cars back there, man. Remember that?
In fact, he even asked about that because of getting the title for him.
I get a bad check. I have their car back so quick, and they would always say,
Mark?
"You're not allowed to do that. You can't take my car." I said, "Well, okay, I got it. Go do what you need to do," and I'd always get paid.
Costco's basically doubled in 5.
Double down. Costco's. Yeah. You just walk into
So
a
that's,
Costco.
you know, a lot of times too, you guys battle.
Yep.
A year where no one could have lost.
Oh, absolutely.
Except me. But no one could have lost. And then, no, I had a guy saying that you can't make money in a great market. No, and you lose in a bad market.
Yeah, but there was
lose as much in a great
there
market.
was a caveat.
I know, but it was still bullshit.
Yeah, I agree.
Let's focus on absolute returns in a down market, minimizing your losses instead of relative.
I can't wait to go all cash. I hate to say this, but property's going to be the next thing. We're 2-3 years away. These people that paid $600,000 for a 3,000 square foot house.
What do you mean $600,000?
700. I mean, my God, they're going to be so upside down.
Mark, we're going to have another real estate correction. I know it, and I'm thinking
you got to have cash, scoop in there, and start picking them up.
But really, Colorado didn't fall that bad compared to the rest of the country.
Oh my God, it did. Oh, are you fucking kidding me?
Really?
My commercial property. Oh my God.
Okay, now that was commercial.
No, residential, man.
Well, okay, I
We
had
had
a house,
foreclosures
3.8
all over
million,
the neighborhood.
3.8
All
million,
over.
all day long appraisals, and it went down to 1.2. Now, tell me that's not a lot.
His house in Franktown sold. His house in Franktown sold for 1.1, right? Or 1.2. On fucking 7,000 square feet.
It was a $3.8 million property. It had everything. It had a fucking giant garage. It had a landing strip. It had everything.
Everything, man. The garage was unbelievable.
I mean, it had like spas, swimming pool,
indoor
barn,
hot tub,
wash racks for the horses. I mean, it had everything. Everything. And it went down to fucking nothing.
Whoever bought it for that 1.2, I guarantee they're sitting on 4 easy right now.
35 acres.
Oh, you get 35 acres too. Wow.
We were at a party and someone
private behind a gate
went to bid on that. They didn't get it.
On a giant hill over the front range.
35 acres.
I picked that lot personally and then sold everything around me. It was just unbelievable. And when that went down that much, holy shit.
Yeah, but your average house, too, I mean, was crazy, man. Your average Highlands Ranch house dropped 30-40%.
Yes. Rolling.
Yes.
I bet yours did.
I saw that.
What do you think your house was worth in 09? I mean, really,
God,
that's
it's
the
scared.
year.
Mark, you didn't get hurt with your houses? You didn't ever get hurt with your residents?
Trying to get selling.
Not selling, you don't get hurt.
Right, that's exactly right.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. We're still trying.
Still trying. And if anyone knows, give us a call. We need to know how long does a shop have to put a lien on a car, a mechanic's lien, if the work was done and it's not paid? How long do you have? In a home, for example.
I'm guessing. Well, in a home, it's 6 months from the last time you did work.
Okay, now, we have some guests, too, today, and we're going to talk to them because we do have some emails. And Budget A1 Transmission and Auto Repair, we called about this, and he wasn't around, Mark Machowski, to answer it. So we're going to try to figure that out. But one thing I want to tell you about them, he came up with an ingenious marketing plan. I want you to hear it. And tell me if you think it's ingenious or what. I want your honest-to-God opinion. He'll do, first of all, 1 hour of free diagnostics for anyone who drives in. If you have a problem, they do 1 hour, okay? Now, they're not going to tear open anything for 1 hour, but they will look at stuff pretty pretty closely and guarantee their diagnosis, right? If it's a problem with the transmission, or if you have a problem with your transmission and you pull in there, they will, if they can't diagnose it, they will open up the transmission, open it up, literally open up the transmission, look inside at all the components, free of charge. Now, if you want to junk the car, they're not going to do it. But if there's a reasonable chance you're going to get it fixed, there's no obligation. They'll open it up free. Then they'll give you a complete diagnostic and how much it will cost to fix. It's free. If you decide you want someone else to do the work, it's still free. If you decide you want to do the work with them, it's still free. They will do the work, and you get charged for that. If you decide you're going to junk the car, it's still free. What if you want the car put back together and you don't want to do anything? Well, then there's a small charge, and they will discuss that up front. Do you see any? I mean, I can't see any downside to this for a consumer. 303-781-9858. The only free teardown in the business with a guaranteed diagnosis. 303-781-9858. Budget A1 transmission. And, of course, they do all kinds of auto repair on South Santa Fe, just south of Dartmouth. Wow. Now, we have a question on all kinds of stuff, and we're going to get to all of you. So, please, Victor held a long time, and he has a roofing issue. Go ahead, Victor. I want to take you before the end of the hour if we can. What is going on?
Thank you, Mr. Martino. I'm dealing with a roofing company, and just...
If you tell me the problems, we'll get working on it during the news. So what are, if you went right to the problems, what are they?
I got leaks in my roof and called them, and it's been a month ago.
Okay. So they're not living up to a warranty.
Correct.
Okay. Are they on my referral list?
No.
Okay, we're going to get to it and more coming up on the Troubleshooter Show. Stick around. Ideal Home Loans has a better plan. They can help you with debt consolidation, but get it over with quickly.
And that 401k questions, it's important to probably clarify that it's not to just move to cash.
Oh, yeah, that's what I think. I think that's what.
I think that's what he was saying.
Yeah,
he
that's what he was
didn't.
interpreting.
That's what.
Yeah. Or if you.
That's exactly what he said.
Yeah.
He thought he missed something, or why? Why would I just put it in cash?
Yeah. Why would I pay a fee to go to cash?
If you work for someone, though, like if you work for Exxon or whatever, and you participate in a 401k, you can't simply move it from whoever they're doing.
If you're over 59 and a half, you can't.
Even if they're doing a match?
Hold on.
Yeah.
Wait.
Would the company still have to match it?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. You can't move it before 59 and a half? Why?
No.
Only if the company lets you.
Well, if you're still working for it, without the 10% penalty, because there's a 10% penalty.
But you're not drawing it out. You're just moving management.
It doesn't matter. You can't do it. Yeah, if you're still working for the firm, you're still working for them. If it's an old
if you're terminated, then you can roll it.
Yeah. So there is a process. If you're before 59 and a half, still working, but it's not cheap and it's not.
I didn't know that on the IRA that they did. Oh, I guess I did know that. Of course, they don't mandatory take that 20%, but really, it really doesn't matter because you're going to end up paying it anyhow.
Well, it can.
Although it's growing while it's sitting in there, unlike if they had to set. So when they set it aside in a 401k for taxes, can you still manage what that's doing, or literally it becomes cash?
It gets paid to the IRS.
Oh, so they literally send it to the IRS.
Yeah. So
Yeah, but you may get that back when you do your return.
That's interesting. Yeah, but you don't have the money. Think about this. If it's a large sum of money, you don't have that money generating anything anymore.
Or you don't have it to use it. You drew it out to use it.
So especially if your income is low, then we talk to a lot of people that are in retirement, also they have a Social Security.
Because I had Tom say that one more time, Kevin. As far as the
first time they've ever put on a power like this, but with the extremely dry.
Okay, but here's what I mean. Do you actually, what keeps him from selling it then, or the lender coming in and taking it and just taking it, if you don't have a recorded lien? Doesn't it have to be recorded?
You never know.
No, but what I mean is, Kevin, is there a such thing as a recorded lien on a vehicle. I've seen them before where there's a mechanic's lien and it shows up on the title. Well, then you're the expert. Maybe I'm mistaken. So you're saying that when you have that vehicle, if the lender came in and repossessed it, it's not like a foreclosure on a house where those liens have to be paid. You absolutely have nothing recorded.
No, you can record a lien on a vehicle.
He says you can't record a lien.
Of course,
He's just saying he doesn't do it.
I've sold cars before to people that have paid me on terms.
We've seen liens recorded on them, but you've never
You go
done
down to DMV, you literally do it.
For example. Never. But you've kept the vehicle, and how do you keep them from selling? But then what would prevent someone from selling it or a lender foreclosing?
10-year, $500,000 policy for $25.
Yeah, but I'll tell you this: if a lender goes in with a title and says, "Give me my goddamn vehicle," he no longer owns it.
No, you would still go. You'd have to have a judge say that.
I mean, what do you have to prove a lien?
Someone comes in from a bank. I don't care who comes in. I ain't getting the vehicle back. Shall I get paid?
Okay, man. All right. Well, listen. I asked for your expertise. If that's how you do it, then that's how you do it. I'm going to keep looking though, just in case. But thank you very much, Kev. All right. But how do you sell it then? If you don't have a recorded lien, how do you sell it?
I'll tell you one way.
How long do you have to do that?
Try CC's new meat eaters and Supreme Endless Pan Pizzas.
Well, no. Does the law say you have to do it within a certain amount of time?
Starting at just $5.99 on the unlimited buffet.
Okay, good. That's all we need to know. Excellent. Thank you. Okay, that's all we needed to know. Get that back on.
You can charge daily storage.
Marge, we're talking about the same thing. He's not calling it. He's calling it application for title. And he did it 9 months after a vehicle, after work.
But he had it in the possession the whole time.
Yeah, and so does this guy. So let's have this guy do that.
I still say there's probably a period of time. I don't know though. But if it's in his possession, I don't know.
But the bank has a title though.
None of that matters. I don't know why that's sticking in you too. Who cares? If someone didn't pay you and you have possession of the car, I don't care if the bank walked in there, they're not getting it.
No, all I meant
the sheriff will have to show up to take that car.
Yeah, but all I meant was if you own it, as a lender and you foreclose on it, what is there to prove that this shop owns? What would prevent me, a borrower, from saying to my mechanic, make an invoice. Let's keep this car from being repossessed.
No, it's called fraud. Other than that, nothing would stop you from doing that. If you got a court order saying give it back, well then you give it back. But up until that point, I don't know why you would. Like I was saying before, why wouldn't people just go to Discount Tire, get new tires, and then just go grab their car and leave? Restaurants.
They really look
what?
at it.
Bill?
They call you names when you drive out.
I'm not paying any stinking bill. Miles took his girlfriend out to Maggiano's. Man, what a deal you can get there. You get like food to take home. I mean, it's crazy. It's a great
And it's good food.
Oh, it's delicious.
And a lot of times the waitresses will talk politics.
Oh, why do you start with
on 630.
Well, actually,
I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter this hour, brought to you by Fix-It 24/7, where you can get any problem diagnosed for $39. Plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, and drains, $39 gets a tech to your home. That's it. You find the problem no matter how long it takes, and then they present you with solutions. If you decide to do it, they will take the $39 off. You don't even pay that. If you decide not to do it, that's all you pay, $39. Get an expert to your home. Of course, they're busy like crazy, so get your call in and get it scheduled. They may not be out there today, but they'll be out there, and you'll never find a deal this good or value this good. 720-526-3939. 720-526-3939. FixMyHome.com. I'm Tom Martino, and we need to help people. Victor says, it's a very easy problem. I had a roof done, and now they won't warranty it. I have leaks. So I want to get to that. Then I want to talk to APO Financial. who has some questions by email. Okay, so, and we also actually have for Advanced Tax Solutions, it could be for both. Victor, your roof was done when?
About 2-3 months ago. I could look at the
That's fine.
contract.
That's fine. I would say 2.5 months. Okay, so how much of a warranty do you have?
It's not even so much warranty. It's they won't fulfill the contract.
All right, let's talk about either or. First of all, the contract 2.5 months ago, how much was the total contract?
It was just over $8,000.
Did you do it pay in full?
I did it once they...
Did you pay in full? That's all I care about.
Yes, they're paid.
Excellent. Now, what is the issue?
Had some leaks after they said it was all done. We've had issues with leaks, and they keep coming out to fix it. I sent them today. It's been exactly a month ago. I sent them a text and also called the office. Said still have a leak and hadn't heard or.
Is it the same leak, Victor, over and over?
One of them. Yeah, this one's still the same leak.
What did you mean when you said they didn't fulfill the contract?
By contract, they were supposed to do some foam tape and all this other stuff, and they ended up using this rubberized paint type stuff. They said, oh, it's just as good.
Where did they use it?
On the screw heads and on the seats.
Ah, I see. Is that where it's leaking?
That's where it's coming through.
What kind of roof is this?
Metal.
That's what I thought. So it's a metal roof, standing seam or flat?
Standing.
A standing seam, and but normally they just use sealed screws. They don't put any coating on that. Why did you have a coating put over steel?
Well, it was an existing roof, and all they did was repair it. They didn't replace it.
Oh, okay. Now that says it all. That says it all. So they use this sealer saying, we're going to take care of this leaking.
Right.
Was it an insurance job?
No.
Okay, gotcha. So now basically you hired them to do away with the leaking, period, right? That's it, and they didn't.
What's the contract say? Does it say that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it says that they were going to do this silicone around the chimneys and do this tape and all that. And
okay. No, I'm asking, does the contract say it's going to stop the leaks?
What exactly?
That's what I hired them for.
I know, but does it say to address leaks? I'm just curious if it says that.
Reading through it, I mean...
You see why I say this?
For 2 years.
Warranty against leaks?
It doesn't, I mean...
Victor,
so.
Can I explain something? You can't assume anything, and here's why. Let's take a car repair. I have this symptom, okay? Oh, you need an oil, not an oil. You need a filter, air filter. Okay, that didn't work. Okay, now you need vacuum hoses. Didn't happen. Okay, now you need a fuel pump. Nope, didn't work. You keep chasing this, and on the contract it says fuel pump, and they did it. Vacuum hoses, and they did it. It says they did everything they were paid for, and guess what? That's fine. Just like you. If they said, we're going to do this to the screw heads, we're going to do this around the chimney, we're going to do this around whatever it says, around the gutters, and they did it, they did it. But you have to go a step further, as Mark alluded to. Did they say, we'll do this to address leaks? Or, for example, on a car, we'll do this to eliminate hesitation or this or that. You make a little mini contract. So even though you say, I can't recall, it's of utmost importance. What does your contract say?
I do not see anything where it says it will eliminate the leaks, but as per contract, they did not do it per contract.
Okay, that's fine. And I'm not saying that people are stupid enough not to figure out you hired them for a reason, not just to, color up the screw heads. But still, they can say, I did exactly what we were paid for. There must be another problem. You see, so you make them commit to what they're doing. We'll cover screw heads to eliminate leaking. It just says they found the problem and you're paying for that. In any case, you're saying instead of the tape, they did the coating, right?
Correct.
When you bring that up, they say, well, the coating's better, right?
Well, they said, no, it'll work.
It'll work.
It'll do the job.
Okay.
And
why don't you just sue them for breach of contract based on that and ask for $7,500 in small claims court and just have someone else do it? Because you have them dead to right of what you're saying is true. If they specified in the contract they were going to use certain things and you can prove with an affidavit from another roofer that they did not, why don't you just do that?
I can do that. And then I just need to find
well,
you recommend.
That would be the easiest thing. We can also have somebody call them. Suzanne.
Clint's talking to them right now.
Okay, and make sure he knows the issue. It's very simple. He wants the lease stopped.
Have you asked him? Can you come out and put the tape on like you said you would?
Well, I sent him a text a month ago, no response. So I called him today because it's been exactly a month, and told him that either he comes out and fulfills it per contract or see him in court. He pretty much told me
see you in court.
He's not gonna do it.
Victor, this tape you're talking about, what exactly is it?
It just says it's in the contract. It says that it's. And sorry,
let me ask another question. Why do you think? Why are you so hell-bent on it? How do you know? You didn't ask for that tape. They said they were going to do it, and they did something else. So who are you, and I mean this sincerely, who are you to question it? In other words, did you insist on that tape?
I didn't care about that. It's the fact that this is the third time I've called for leaks. Again,
but what does the tape, why did you choose to bring that to the head as an issue? Why?
Because they won't come out and fix it. It's been over a month since the last time I called.
But you don't care whether it's tape or not as long as the leaks stop. Is that right?
At this point, I don't want to deal with them. I want to...
Yeah, well, that's too bad, Victor, because I call that the Antitrust Act. And that's exactly what happens. We handle it all the time. That's really not an option unless they're egregious.
And if they could show that the tape and this coding to a judge, I would guess is like the same. There's really no difference. I don't even know if he'd win on that.
See, Victor, I don't even know why you picked the tape. That's what I'm getting at.
Well, that's something that they would say. But, you know, with the thing is the lack of customer service.
Why did you pick the tape? Because you were looking for something wrong you can nail them on, right?
Right, because
well, it's not the tape, it's the leaking.
Right.
Although the tape is specified in your contract, listen, we can talk to them and try to get them to fix it. We can't say Victor wants all of his money back, but you can do that in small claims court. You can say, I got no value from this contract, Victor. I encourage you to do it. But our guy is trying to get them to come out and fix the leaks.
You know, I want to ask you, so let's say it's a deck, and someone's building a deck for me, and I want the pickets to be 1 inch squared.
Right.
And they do half-inch squared.
I know.
There's still a value to it of some sort, even if the contract...
No, you're right.
You know what I'm saying.
If they don't follow the contract, here's the problem, though, Mark, and this has been an age-old problem. There are specifications to a contract, and then there's damages to not doing it. But if you have specifications that aren't followed, and literally there are no damages, Mark, you're right. There is an offense, but it's not worth going after. If you said, I wanted a ½ inch, so when I look at it, I can see the greenery in a pattern that you can't see at a ¼ of an inch, it's going to be very difficult to sue on that if you can't show an actual loss. It's the strangest thing, but it happens. I always say, what if a guy did, we've had this happen, the guy didn't do exactly what I wanted. It actually turned out better in the industry standard, but the consumer didn't want it that way. Well, it's almost impossible to get a solution because there's nothing perfect about contracts and about breaches. So not all cases can be pursued to satisfaction. That's just the way it is.
I'm curious what Clint's finding out.
303-713-TALK, Colorado Tinnitus and Hearing Center. Here's the message I want you to hear about Colorado Tinnitus. You can try out any hearing device with no obligation. Colorado Tinnitus and Hearing Center, of course, does evaluations, and you have to have those done to see if you even need one. But then when it comes to trying them out, you can try them out one after another to make sure you get the right one. They will not hold you to it. They will not jam it down your throat. If you don't like it, you turn it back. There is no obligation to you. Also, they have tinnitus treatment, some permanent. It's a cure. right? It is a cure, but the FDA doesn't say that because they call it permanent solution because it hasn't gone through all those FDA trials. But we know people have been on it for 10 years or more and never did tinnitus come back in some frequency ranges. In others, they treat and mask, but in every case, they help. 303-534-0163. 303-534-0163. That's Colorado Tinnitus and Hearing Center.
This report is brought to you by Farmers Insurance.
We are farmers.
Travel across the freeway.
Who's that? Drew's sister got towed in her apartment complex, and he sent the picture of it for double parked, and there's no doubt he was double parked. Do you have it?
His sister, Drew, here.
Drew's sister, yeah.
Okay.
Do you have it? Here, I'll send it to you. I think I deleted it. I mean, she was taking up 2 spaces. So. Parked over on
sunny today with a high
Milwaukee.
of 43. Right now, fair skies and 30.
Did I tell you that funeral I went to a couple weeks ago was probably the damn best funeral I've ever been to?
Meaning happy eulogized her very well.
Man, happy and sad, actually. Just a full gamut.
Isn't it amazing how you learn so much more about a person after they die?
That's what I was trying to. I think I was telling Tom that I knew the husband very well. He worked for me forever, but we became friends. And his wife died. They're way older than me. I want to say I think she was 75. She's been fighting cancer for 5 years. But I met her a few times, and of course her coming in and out of the shop back then. But I learned more about her it was long, I'll say that, in 2 hours, and I didn't know anything about her. I mean, really, I knew nothing about her. They really went through her life very well. She was actually an usher, and I didn't realize really what an usher was in that sense. She actually would go to a lot of funerals as an usher to usher the dead into heaven, if that makes sense. I didn't realize that was
That's what they're called?
Yeah, she was actually an usher. And so
but not an usher at the church.
Well, I guess an usher at the church, but they would always go to the funerals. So all these other ushers, because she was an usher, were there when she died, which was kind of cool. I don't know, it's just a trip. Funerals are a trip. Military ones, when my buddy Larry died, that was kind of cool. So he got the salute, the 21 gun salute, the whole bit. That was kind of cool. God, he was an alcoholic, man. God, he literally drank himself into where his liver just quit functioning. I mean, and even when he knew he was dying, he would continue to. It was just a remarkable thing. Yeah, but you would think at some point. Yeah. Well, you know what? You're right. I've seen people smoking cigarettes like this. Yeah.
Tom Martino here, DenverEgressWindow.com. If you go there,
you're going to see some remarkable photographs. Denver Egress Window can put in egress windows where none exist to open up that square footage legally in your home. Denver Egress Windows. What I mean is, they punch through the foundation and put in that window well and that window. They can also rebuild the old ones the builder put in with that ugly corrugated crap. Denver Egress uses beautiful composite material that can look like wood or any look you want, and it's beautiful, airtight, watertight, not airtight, what I meant was watertight and protected and protecting your home and foundation. They can also create walkout basements on relatively flat lots even, with a terraced patio. It's beautiful. Look them up. DenverEgressWindow.com, 720-626-4221. They've been on my referral list for many, many, many years. 720-626-4221, DenverEgressWindow.com. Victor with the roofing. I want to get right to it. And basically, you have leaks. We're getting to them, and I'll let you know what we find out. Again, we can't help you. If you want all of your money back, we can ask him, but that'll be a small claims court issue.
Tom,
yes.
Clint is still talking to them, so
Wow.
I'll take his number and we'll call him back.
Okay. And we have a question for Advanced Tax Solutions, Todd Whalen. Todd, when there's no money due, but you got a late file, can there be a penalty assessed even if no money is owed? Okay, turn your mic on there, sir. Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Is that usually done, a penalty just for not filing?
No. Okay, there is a penalty for not filing, but it is based on the balance due. So if there's no balance due, there's no penalty. However, the reason you want to be careful with that is if there's an audit in the future and they assess an additional tax, then that goes all the way back to the filing date, and then the penalties would apply.
If you can get hit, though, if you don't file for an extension. I mean, I've had an LLC before, actually an S-Corp, where I created it that year, I never filed for an extension, and I literally had to pay a fee just for not doing the extension, even though there was no business done whatsoever that year.
Okay, that's you're right. That's a different penalty.
What is that?
That's a penalty for not filing the K-1s.
Oh.
So there is a penalty for not filing K-1s, but there's
whether there's money due or not.
Right.
And are they expensive?
I think that's, what, $200 a month?
Well, the one I was thinking about was $2,400, but I pleaded
for a year.
I pleaded ignorance, and I'm sure they'll waive it.
303-713 talk.
Probably.
Okay, so APO Financial. When you take over management of accounts, do consumers have input they want to know? If they like certain stocks, what do you do in that case?
Well, typically, if
you don't day trade, I know that.
No, we don't day trade, but if they like individual stocks on their own, we basically let them self-manage that on their own. Because for us, when we take over managing the account, we're making those decisions to go in and out, and we don't want to really take the time to separate out, should we trade out these
So what do you
stocks
do,
or not.
make an account just for them, and then you guys take another account?
Basically, we set up a non-managed account.
Right.
So where there's
How horrible would that be? Think about that. You hire them, then tell them what to do. Talk about set up for failure, because you guys would be at fault even though they're telling you what to do.
Well,
thank you.
So if they want a managed account, that's exactly what it's going to be. If they want to direct it, then they're going to have a separate account.
Right. It'll be on them. That's their responsibility, and we try to give them the pros and cons of all that. But just like you said, Mark, yeah, they really shouldn't be doing that.
Okay.
That's like you. How about if an advertiser told you exactly how to do a certain spot and it didn't work? Seriously.
Then they say you don't work, and then you said, well, I didn't get a chance.
That's right.
It happens all the time. Okay, Aaron has a question. Go ahead, Aaron. I'm Tom Martino. Welcome. What's happening?
Hey, Tom. Yeah, I got my wife's car got backed into, so I'm looking for an auto body shop. And since it's an insurance claim, my question is, do I have to give them the estimate from the insurance company, or can I get my own estimate and shop around for the best deal?
Now, and I know why you're asking this. When it comes to homes, I say, get the adjuster to come out. First, find out if you have roof damage, before you call your insurance, because even if you call and you don't have insurance, you don't have a claim, they will assess it against you because you asked about it. I don't know why, but it's a negative, and your rates can actually go up from just asking. But once you find out you have roof damage, I say make a roofer assess the damage without an adjuster, because you want to know what that roofer believes you need and compare it to what the adjuster says you need. Don't ever get a roofer who says, I'll take care of whatever they want. You don't want someone like that. You want someone to look out for your best interests. So now let's talk about your situation with a car. With a car, if you have damage to your car, you should go to a body shop and get your own estimate, and you should not let them see what the adjuster says. The same thing, but it's not as weird as with a house. I wouldn't mind if they wanted to see what the adjuster found, but I want to make sure I know the shop and they're going to look out for my best interests.
The hardest part with cars is there's always supplemental. Always.
Yeah.
They never get it right the first time.
And they can't, because they got to open it up and they may see some stuff underneath. Do you have an adjuster's report on your damage?
No, they're coming out this week to get it.
Okay. Well, what is your concern?
I was one because I called one place and they just said, "Yeah, just bring us the report and we'll get you in." And
what's your concern?
Just that I get the most bang for my buck and get it fixed correct. So
okay, well that's the deal. You're not trying to make money on it, basically.
No, just want to get it repaired, but
just find a really good body shop. There's some on the referral list, man. Right. They'll make sure it's good.
Yeah, that's really what you want to do. You just want to find someone you can trust, and really it's a cooperative effort. But you're right, though. You want to get the best deal. But that doesn't mean, like, for example, if the body shop doesn't find what the adjuster finds, and you can get it done cheaper than the adjuster says, I would want to make sure all of the deficiencies are corrected, because that's going to affect the value of the car. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. This email inquiring about pumping mud into concrete says that one guy said that he should use the plastic. Now, I just want to clear something up. Crackerjack Mudjacking does not do plastic on purpose. They don't believe in it. And they have about 60,000 jobs out there that says mud is better. And most people on a referral, not all the people on a referral list that do mudjacking say, look, they could easily do the plastic, but they don't. So crackerjackmudjacking.com, it's very important to know, they use only a concrete, sand, and dirt mix that mimics bedrock. And I just want to make that clear. So they believe it's the most solid, stable foundation you can have underneath your concrete. And most concrete fails because of not having a solid substrate. And they can usually fix sloping and cracking concrete, and it's way cheaper than trying to do it through the replacement. Okay, the replacement is always more expensive. They give free estimates. That's the important thing. 303-410-7787. That's a free estimate. 410-7787. crackerjackmudjacking.com. Cecil has a life insurance problem. Cecil, what's the problem with life insurance?
The policy was canceled.
Why?
For lack of payment.
Oh, okay. Was this a whole life policy?
A guaranteed life.
A guaranteed, what do you mean? Was it term?
Yeah, it's sort of like a term policy, and it's for like high risk, people that...
So you pay by the month.
Right.
For a death benefit with no cash value. You're kind of just buying coverage as you go, right?
Yeah, there's a cash value then.
Well, then that's not term. So
okay. What
exactly is it called? Is it called whole life insurance?
Yes, that's the label of it.
And guys, okay, what was your policy face value? The death benefit.
$25,000.
The death benefit was 25. What high risk are you?
My friend has Huntington's disease.
Is that who you're calling about, your friend?
Yeah, the policy was. I'm the owner of the policy, and she's the person that has the insured.
Why did you insure her? You have to have an insurable interest.
Well, I felt that if she passes away, I needed to have some way of supporting myself.
Why? What does she do?
Well, she was my caregiver.
Oh, okay, that's fine. That's an guys, is that an insurable interest?
Yes.
It's like a key man almost,
yes.
Right? All right. So, why was it canceled? How many premiums did you miss?
Well, I was under the belief that I had not missed any payments based upon payment confirmations.
Well, what do you mean? Don't you send in a payment every month?
Yes, I was sending in payments.
How much was your premium payment every month?
$125 a month.
That's a lot of money for that policy, but $125 a month. So a very quick question here. You wrote out a check for $125 every month.
I gave them a month, periodic credit card payments through an online user account.
Okay. When you say periodic, did you have a credit card on file that they drew from monthly? Or did you go online and make payments using it?
Yes, I had one on file.
And did they automatically draft it every month?
No, they did not.
Then you had to go on every month and do it.
Yeah, I could pay like 1 month or 6 months or a year at a time.
Okay, and you thought you were paid up till when?
Let's see, it said 10/13/2018.
That's what you thought you were paid up to?
Correct.
Well, and you have a receipt to show that?
Yeah, payment confirmation, and it shows.
And it says paid through October 13th, 2018.
Correct. Yes, that's what it says on the payment confirmation.
Okay. Well, then when was it canceled?
Well, I went on the user account on about around the September of the 20th of this year, and it said I cannot access my, it didn't say that, but I could not access my payment center part of the user interface.
And you called and they said,
your policy is still active and it only has a 1,000 some cash value remaining. And I asked them if there was reason for that, and they said your payment was declined at the bank.
Well, hold on a sec. Did they say it was lapsed and canceled at that time?
I don't recall the exact conversation, but I think that's
you have to get notice by mail if they cancel you.
Yeah, and I told them that, and they said, well, the insurance company said, we have sent you a written statement saying that we have canceled, or you have not paid, declined the payment, and you have not paid, and we're going to cancel the policy. And I said, no, I haven't, which I had not received, and I was aware.
Were they sending it to her?
To the insurance company.
No, was the insurance company sending the notices to her?
To my caregiver?
I'm sorry, is your caregiver a male? Or it's a female. Were they sending it to your caregiver by mistake? I mean, I'm just asking a simple question. Could that possibly...
Yes, they were sending it to the address that both me and the caregiver live at.
And, okay, what happened to those notices?
Either I didn't get them or they didn't get delivered.
Okay. The next question, Cecil, it doesn't matter if you got the notices if you were paid. Why did they say you were not paid? When did they say you stopped paying?
They said that a payment made in July or June 13th for 2 months. It was roughly covering 2 months of payments. Was declined at the bank. Okay, so that was way back in June. So every payment subsequent to that was late. Yeah, and so I made 3 other attempts to make payments and got confirmations for those during that time between June and now and today. And so yes, you may be correct about that.
So hold on. So those payments you made in June 13th for 2 months were declined. So when you made future payments, they were not declined, right?
Yes, they were all declined.
Wait a minute. They were all so basically they've been declining your payments since June?
Right. So
Well, hold on. Then the money was not being taken out of your account?
Correct.
But you thought it was.
I confirmed that at the bank.
Well, wait a minute. Why did it take you all this time to notice the money had never been taken out?
I did not note that because I had logged into the account, user account online on August 14th, and it said that you're paid through
October. Okay, what did they say about that?
They said that, okay, so I called them on October... No, listen. God almighty, this shouldn't be this hard. You made payments that were declined, and every payment since then was declined, and you never ever got a notification that your policy was the premiums were declined and it was in danger of lapsing. Never. You got not one notice. Is that right? Not correct. On September 28th, I finally did get a letter in the mail explaining that the payments had been declined.
And then what?
So I contacted them back by phone and in writing, showing that I had all these payment confirmations and requesting that they process.
But yet, it was still in your account. All the money was still in your account.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. So what would you guys? I mean, I don't know what the hell's going on. It sounds like they never took the money out, even though he tried to pay.
Yeah, because it almost sounds like that they were using the remaining cash value from June to October.
That's exactly what they did. Because he wasn't making payments, they were exhausting his cash value, and the notice he got was because there wasn't enough cash value left.
Correct.
That's why it took so long. I don't know what you do in a case like this.
You almost have to go because they've actually canceled the policy, and it sounds like they...
You have to go to the insurance commission's office.
Well, they can actually go back and apply to be reinstated.
Yeah, you can do that.
You can.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
There is an application for... Hold on a second. We'll come back and talk about an application for reinstatement, okay? Hold on. FrankDuran, If you're buying real estate, FrankDuran, If you're selling real estate, FrankDuran, He has stats both ways showing he saves money for consumers. He sells your house quicker and for more money. Even in this great market, he does better than the great market, outperforms it. Frank Duran, 303-920-1622. Nothing but positive reviews. Find out why. 303-920-1622.
This is Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW, an iHeart radio station with Ross Kaminsky.
That's what it tells me. But you know what? What's his credit card paying? But generally,
No, it's a nightmare.
Yeah. Generally, he's got 30 days to reinstate it.
He's got 30 days, but there's a reinstatement process. If he's
listed $1 to $1 trillion.
This is a pretty case in Gary Everett stuff. I would think the insurance company's going to reinstate.
And their assets are between 1 and 10.
Yeah.
Really? All their real estate?
1 in 10 is what they listed on the paper.
Cost for people with insurance coverage.
That's one of the hardest fucking things I ever did with the chapter 11.
You know what?
I know it's $6 when I looked at it a year ago. We all knew it was crash. J.C. Penney's, I think,
There was a couple blips in there.
Oh,
Montgomery Ward, J.C. Penney,
Sears.
I think Best Buy's on the way out. Best Buy's at Turner.
Well, like this guy.
Target, I think,
started like
because it's
I
fancy
got
Walmart.
got
Still like
two
go like a
away
Walmart. It's
tournaments.
like a fancy Walmart.
One in Utah in the middle of
I don't know. I've
January.
never been a Target guy.
Neither have I,
King's
but a lot of
Day,
people are.
one in the middle of February, President's Day in Arizona. And then it's just so yes, I think we're just going to go.
You know what's kind of funny? Is why Costco
7 days out of Miami.
I don't know if they report sales separately than Walmart.
Well,
I'm not
go down the road.
I don't know if
You can spend, I think we'll go down.
If it's not performing that well, why would you break it down?
Well, I don't know if it's not performing. I'm saying,
Well, Costco, man. It's usually.
And why is Costco? To me,
That's what
it's a pleasure going to Costco.
First of all, the fact you can return anything. You know what? I might do that. I might do a Facebook Live and I might return a shirt I bought a year ago with stains and shit on it. See if they take it.
Okay, I got a pair of pants that I maybe wore one time. I got ripped.
Would you do me a favor?
No, you do
it. Wear them while you're returning. In the very pants.
February, it'll be warm.
Do you have one that's really your own? We should do it
And it
just.
looks brand new.
Let's
return them.
No. Here's what we do. Let's return them. We'll do it, and we'll get it on video. But then, after you return them, just tell them you don't need to.
No, it's this one goes
Say we were
down
just
to,
seeing if they would literally
just further south.
But it's probably
Eastern, southern eastern.
Let's
Right
try it.
down
But
to
they look brand new.
Let's try it.
14.
Do you have the receipt?
No.
Oh, they can look it up on your card. Let's do it. Seriously, let's do it.
Down there.
What do you think? I bet you bring them in, they fucking just return them. I bet they do. Let's try it. Why?
I'll give you my card.
No, we'll tell them. We'll say, here's what we were doing it to see if you guys really did it.
So embarrassing.
Yeah.
Why would it be embarrassing? You're going to tell them why. They don't care. You think the person back there, they're going to look at you a little funny, but then you're going to tell them. Then you're going to tell them literally it was an experiment. We wanted to see if it was really as good as they said. And we'll give you great publicity.
But I want people to do this.
What do you mean?
Because, like I said,
Most people don't like you. They're not going to do it. The people that do it are already doing it, I assure you. We're going to go into Costco with a pair of pants that he bought 2 years ago and see if they give a refund on them. I fucking love the idea.
they look brand new. I mean, they're brand new.
They got a hole in them.
No, they got ripped. I hit something.
2 years old.
I did Lazera. I did. We were talking about
Hi. Pro Auto Care is your car nanny, 303 Pro Auto or 303proauto.com. Near Evans and I-25, you just go east a little and then north on Dahlia. Or south of Bowles on Santa Fe next to Arapahoe Community College. And they are your car nanny. They will keep track of all maintenance, keep your records. They can print out at any time. You can have all of your maintenance done there. And listen to this, free roadside assistance. in between all repairs because it lasts for 36,000 miles. 303-PRO-AUTO or 303proauto.com. And right now, get your car ready for winter. And remember, free roadside assistance. Now, Cecil, we've been looking at this, and here's the deal. There is a process. APO Financial, welcome, guys. They're investment counselors on our referral list, advisors on our referral list at referrallist.com. What do you do to reinstate a life insurance? What do you mean apply for reinstatement?
Yeah, so basically he needs to go back to the insurance company and actually fill out a form to reinstate the policy.
Do they usually do it?
Yeah, they do, especially in his situation. He's got a special case. He's got a caregiver policy. I mean, this is a special case.
But he has to go through the process.
Yeah, he's got to go through the process.
There's a special form
there is.
for reinstatement.
Yeah, and they may ask for those premium payments to be caught up.
Right.
Right.
They will.
You know,
from
now,
a lump sum perspective.
Cecil.
Yes.
You need to ask for a reinstatement application that you can fill out, or the process for reinstatement. How long has it been? It's not even that long. It's just this month. You got to call them immediately.
Well, is it only been this month?
Well, it's been
canceled.
Let's see. It was canceled as of October 13th, he said, and it's the 15th.
Yeah, July 13th.
Wait,
but I didn't find out about it until this last month. You know.
Wait, you just said it was. Oh no, you were paid through October 13th, but they said you were canceled June 13th.
July 13th.
July 13th. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, in most cases in his situation, I would think an insurance company would allow him to do that.
What's the name of the carrier?
It's Gerber Life from Michigan.
Gerber, like the baby food?
Yeah. I would just contact them and
let us know. Listen, Cecil, you got to call them and say, look, that you didn't get the notices. And by the way, you got to correct that situation with the mail. You have to make sure you look at everything coming through, because that's a bad situation. You also have to monitor your bank account. I mean, I can't believe that you would not notice. Don't you balance your bank account, Cecil, where you would notice money not being taken out?
Yeah, I have a caregiver for my benefits.
Okay.
Due to my condition,
okay.
I have memory problems.
Okay, I see. So listen, do this and tell her this immediately so you don't forget. Seriously, get reinstated or request reinstatement. Ask them for the process. Let us know what they tell you. Also, you may have to make a lump sum payment, and then make sure that your address is such that you're going to get the notifications, and get back to us. All right. Tony, what's happening?
Yeah, I've just been hearing a lot of different ads and seeing ads online about these rent-to-own homes.
Yes.
And I'm real skeptical of them. I'm sure there's a lot of scams out there.
And you should be, because in this market, I just want to be very clear, anything that's doing rent-to-own has to be very suspect, because houses can be sold to anyone standing on your head, and there's no reason to do rent-to-own. So I have no idea why anyone would go through that, and it's not like they have a love for mankind and they want to help you into a home. So I would be very skeptical. What are usually it's a way to extract more rent than it's worth, with the hope that you'll purchase, knowing they know that you won't, so they're going to get to keep your money. That's usually what rent-to-own does, is to get more money. Can you tell me a specific that was offered, and we can evaluate it?
Well, the best thing that I've found online was I went to the Better Business Bureau, and there's three companies stationed out of Denver that deal with rent-to-homes, and from one of them ended up
what does this have to do with the Better Business Bureau?
Well, I figured I would just go there trying to find a company that was reputable. That you know.
Well, they don't have a clue. The Better Business Bureau is a business, just like I'm a business, Troubleshooter Network. And what they do is keep track of complaints. But here's the deal. They'll give them a good rating for just answering a complaint. They don't do any background checking, or they don't pull records. They're just it's a dinosaur of the old ages that just happens to still be there. And you'd be surprised how many people believe they actually have an official capacity. They have nothing. So it's okay that you went there. I mean, I don't think they would intentionally steer anybody wrong, but it's not a guarantee. So you found three companies. What offers? Give me an idea of an offer, and we can evaluate it.
Well, just about everything that I've seen so far is what I was told is that they represent clientele where these people come to them and they pay them to basically, I guess, recruit people to come in. And the offer was that that I negotiate directly with the home or with the seller.
Okay.
And I negotiate terms. I negotiate down payment. Basically, I negotiate everything with the seller themselves.
Okay, then what?
And then basically it's up to me making my payments. And
then what do they do? What do these people do that you went to? What do you need them for?
Well, what they do is they is from the way that they explain it. The sellers hire them to try to find people who are basically going to honor their word.
Yeah, wrong. Here's what they're doing. I'm going to tell you before you even tell me. These companies that claim to have clients who want renters to owners, those they don't exist. Or when you pay, they want money up front. I'll guarantee it. They want money up front, and for that they promise to put you in touch with people, but you negotiate your own deal. Okay, well I can do that too. You give me $1,000 or $2,000, Tony. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go out and give you a list of people with their homes for sale. And then I'm going to tell you, you have to negotiate your own deal. So you call them up and you can't negotiate a deal because they don't want to do it. And so tell me, what is guaranteed? Nothing. How much money do they want up front from you?
Well, that's just it. They don't want any. They didn't tell me that they wanted any money up front. They said the only stipulation is that I got to get in touch with one of their they got guys that they said that repair credit, and they want
now the scam is getting deeper.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's kind of what I figured.
But they're going to want money at some point. They're going to want money up front, Tony. So keep playing the game if you want. Keep track of it. I'm going to tell you the truth. Okay. Don't waste your time. You're not going to find you're not going to find legit rent-to-own deals right now. There is no reason. It is a disincentive for people to do that in this market. Why would they do it?
Of course.
I would ask these guys, I'd love to know the answer. I would ask one question, and that's this. Why would anyone in this real estate market want to have their home rent to own when they can simply sell it at top dollar?
Yeah.
What do you think they'd tell you?
I don't think they'd have an answer, to be honest.
Well, you should ask them, Tony. I'm sorry to burst your bubble. I really am. But it's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. If you got up to leave your home today and your garage door didn't open, most of the time, it's a very simple problem. The spring broke. That door is held down by a garage door opener. That's right. It's held down. The spring opens it automatically. So all a garage door opener really does is release the tension and helps it, but it comes up mostly by the spring. When that spring breaks, it's useless. Here's the whole point. One Clear Choice Garage Doors is the place to call for any of your garage door problems. One Clear Choice Doors. Whether you want a brand new one or you want to just service yours, that's oneclearchoicedoors.com.
This report is sponsored by CC's.
For the most part, travel across the Mile High City freeway system is in pretty good shape. Do have a record.
I feel so badly for these people. That is such a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah. He's talking to you.
Up in the high country, Highway 6 is still shut down at Clear Creek Canyon.
I don't even know how it went to home at work like that. Well, how much of it goes to the...
It's on the contract.
Right, that's what I'm saying. What's a decent contract? To me, it'd be a...
In a down market.
And a lot of it is somebody who can't qualify, I'm sure.
I mean, they're just taking money from people.
Taking advantage of the...
No, but if it's a shitty market...
Oh, no, in a shitty market, they do it all day long.
Because you can't sell it.
Or it's a distressed property that has so many problems. But there are usually, and sometimes they do rent to own for people that don't even own the property.
The worst are the rent to own trailers. Seriously.
What's wrong with the trailer?
end up paying
You know what though?
$150,000
They were
for a trailer.
leading him down, man. They're going to get the credit, then they're going to get him and all kinds of shit. Man, when you promise people stuff, you get all kinds of shit.
It all comes out. That Gerber, I looked up, that's got a lot of bad reviews.
Gerber, they're guaranteed issue policies, so they're, you could be dying.
Is it a little
How
baby?
can they be guaranteed?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So he bought it
Premiums
for.
are so small, they're counting on people buying the policy and then not making those payments down the line. So they're
The premiums are small.
well, not the premiums, the death benefit's small.
Like
So,
15 grand.
Yeah,
But-
15 grand. Yeah.
So she already had Hodgkins when he bought it then.
Yeah. So generally, they're.
I don't think it matters though. I don't think they do a health check or any of that.
No, I know,
Yeah,
but it
really,
doesn't
they
matter.
don't. It's called.
So they just hope.
Yeah, they know a certain percentage of people just want a small enough policy to cover a burial or transition.
They're just playing the odds.
Yeah. That's all that
That's
is.
a big odds.
All life insurance plays the odds.
Right.
Large numbers.
But if you know someone's dying and you buy it on them and stuff, I mean, the odds are a lot better.
Genesis Total Exteriors.com.
$125 a month.
Roofing, gutters, siding, windows,
Siding,
decks,
windows, decks,
fences.
fences, GenesisTotalExteriors.com. It's the place to go for a complete home improvements without the worry of getting ripped off. I've known Mark Szymanski for so many years. 303-679-8509. GenesisTotalExteriors.com. Okay, so where are we with Cecil and the life insurance at this point? I told him to get for the process and to be back in touch. So we're done with him. And then we have Yvonne who has a comment on the rent to own. Go ahead, Yvonne. What's happening?
Well, I kind of disagree with you somewhat
Okay, go ahead.
because if you have, like, let's say somebody puts a house on the market, they list it with an agent that doesn't do a very good job. You talk about it all the time. So it's been on the market for months and months, which is kind of not normal. Well, maybe not so much now, but normal for the market to be so people assume that there's something wrong with it or whatnot, so they can't sell the house. So if you have a buyer who makes their own lease or own lease contract to purchase and approaches a seller that is desperate because they can't, get into their new house or whatever the case may be, and so they accept a contract from a buyer, then
Yvonne,
then it can work.
It sounds anything. I can explain anything and paint a picture of anything, but it doesn't mean it's real. First of all, no matter how bad a real estate person is, no matter how bad they are, if you list a home, it's never going to be so bad in this market that they must resort to a rent to own. But in a bad market,
because I think there are some houses out there like it, especially if they need a lot of cleaning or if they're a dump. You know what I'm saying?
No, there are some dumps.
You just never know.
There are some dumps.
It just means they're overpriced.
But usually, let's put it this way: I have never seen, not once, a legitimate rent to own in 40 years. Not one. Not one. In every case, they're extracting too much money from people, or they're getting them into credit repair, or they're just. I've never seen one. Not one legit. Never in 40 years. Now that's got to say something, because we've looked at everything. There have been people that had all kinds. There was one that wanted to advertise with us, and it sounded phenomenal, and it may have worked, but it wasn't for people who couldn't afford it. It was for people who needed a house quickly, and then they needed time to get established, but it was not for people who were credit challenged at all.
It was weird, though.
Yeah. Judy, what's going on with you, Judy?
Hey, I live in an apartment complex,
Yes.
and it's basically infested with roaches, and we also have a possible sex offender. Now I've contacted
Well,
the
a
police
sex
department.
offender, just let me make this clear. If the sex offender has done their time and they're listed and registered, that's not something against the apartment complex.
No, but they won't even check on it.
What do you mean check on it?
I've asked the police to check if he is a sex offender. We don't know this for sure, but he's threatening to sodomize my son.
No, hold on a
He's
second.
like,
You
just go onto the registry.
You go on the registry and see if he's registered.
But I don't have a last name, and I was asking the police to get a last
They're
name
not.
for me.
They're not going to go knock on a door and say, "We'd like to see if you're on the sex offender list." They're not going to do that. No, they wouldn't.
what about looking it up from their point as in the department?
I don't think they would.
Tom,
What?
She should be able to
Just-
look at registered offenders in her area. If there's one in that apartment complex, it'll show up.
It'll show on the address. You don't have to have the name. But here's the
Right.
other thing, Judy. Here's the most important thing you said. He already committed a crime. Have him arrested.
They said it's all hearsay.
Wait a minute.
They won't take it.
Wait a minute. How old is your son?
He's 13.
And your son said what? What's the claim?
The claim is, actually, I wasn't out there. My son was out
I know.
there earlier.
Well, what
and
did he
then
say?
He said to me, he says, you better make sure your son is not out here alone or something's going to happen to him that doesn't make him sleep at night.
Wait, who said that?
The guy that I think is a possible sex offender.
Oh, wait. So he didn't say he was going to sodomize him?
That's what it sounded like to me.
Judy.
Yes.
He said, make sure your son is what? Not alone, because I'm going to do something to him where he won't sleep at night? And you took that to mean he was going to sodomize him?
Yes, and even the police department said that was probably what he meant.
Well, then why don't they arrest him?
I don't know.
Well,
They said
because
it's all
they don't
hearsay.
believe that, Judy. Because there's no two ways about it. He didn't say it. He did not. First of all, he didn't say it to he didn't do it to your son. He said it to you. This is not actionable so far. Is this the only thing the guy did? He might be a creep, but is this the only thing he did? What?
He exposes himself, and he looks.
Wait.
Walks around looking in.
Hold on. When did he expose himself?
We have we have the police reports. They're at my house.
Okay,
from that young kid.
Who reported that?
The young kid next door, because he did it to him.
And he wasn't. And this guy was not arrested.
Correct.
Oh, Judy, listen.
Yes.
I guarantee you, if you made a phone call today and lied about that, he would be arrested. There's something not adding up in your story. It's not that I don't believe you. I don't believe those reports were made. You do not need proof to get someone arrested. You don't. Unfortunately, you don't. So, something is wrong with your story. I don't know. That's all I can say. We're out of time. Save all your problems for me.
It's never been easier to get rewarded at Isle Casino.
Say he exposed himself and not get something. Either he wasn't home or something.
He'd be locked up.
There's something going on, though.
What do you think?
I don't know. Some kind of neighbor feud.
Yeah, there it is. But
we'll send Dan over there to investigate. Let us know if he exposes himself.